All right, ladies and gentlemen, just want to get right into this video. So tonight at the school board meeting, mark this date, February the 5th, 2024, Superintendent of the Wayne County School Board, Marc Whicard, has officially begun the end of Goldsboro High School as we know it. Now we can call it, I guess, gentrification. I don't know what word best fits this move, but in an a motion, Dr. Whicard made the motion that starting next year, Goldsboro High School will be moved, or the students at Goldsboro High School will be moved to what is now called the Wayne School of Engineering. So they will no longer be on the campus that is officially known as Goldsboro High School right now. They're going to move to the facility that is now called the Wayne School of Engineering. Now, what's going to happen to the students at Wayne School of Engineering? Glad you asked. They are going to move to what is now called Wayne Academy, or for people my age, the old Goldsboro Junior High School, or for people younger than me, is the old Goldsboro Middle School or Intermediate School. So, and he went on to start speaking. He'll say, well, the students at Wayne Academy are going to be moving somewhere out, by Eastern Wayne. And he said, he mentioned a couple of more schools or students at those schools who are going to be shuffled around in different locations. Now, he mentioned something about the food and nutrition department or some other department is going to be utilizing what the students at Goldsboro High School utilize. Now, so in essence, that school is not going to be used to educate students anymore. The school that I went to, the school that my parents went to, and many of your parents went to, is going to be pretty much a vacant building for some administrative services. Now, I see past what they call the utilization rate, because that is the premise that this decision was made upon, and it was made very quick. He finished his statement. Somebody made a motion, somebody seconded the motion, and then they voted, and it was a unanimous decision that starting next year, Goldsboro High School students will no longer be attending Goldsboro High School, the original Goldsboro High School. They're going to be attending the Wayne School of Engineering. Now, maybe that seems like a good thing right now in the present, right? Because they have made so many upgrades to, I think that is the old C building when I went to school, but they have made so many upgrades to that facility. I've heard, I haven't been there, that you may think that is a good thing. However, I see further or past, the present. Because what Mr. Whicard did is set a precedent where 2 or 3 years down the line, they can say, well, the students at Goldsboro High School, which is going to be Wayne Engineering, they're not performing well. They have, a bad utilization rate. So we're going to put, just say, the Wayne Early Middle High School, which now attends Wayne Community College, if I'm not mistaken. They say, well, we're going to move those students into the place where Goldsboro High School is, which is pretty much the Wayne School of Engineering now. We're going to move those students into there, and the students in Goldsboro, they're going to be somewhat shuffled off, or made to go here or made to go there, and the next thing you know, there is no more Goldsboro High School. Do you see where we're going with this? Now, I had to go back because I spoke at Wayne Academy, which is the old Goldsboro Junior High School. I spoke there last year. I spoke to some students, and when I asked the principal, very lovely lady, I thank her for letting me coming out to address the so-called trouble kids, right? So when I went out there, they told me, I asked, well, how many students are in this building? And she said, well, sometimes, it ebbs and flows. At the beginning of the year, we don't have that many. And at the middle of the year, it goes up. And, it just fluctuates. But right now, she said they have about 40 students. Now, I'm like, 40 students? And she said, yeah, 40 students. Now, I'm thinking about all of the students when we went there in 7th and 8th grade. It had to be at least 300 or 400 or 500 students within those 2 grades during my time. And so they closed, I think, Goldsboro Middle School, and put the students over at Dillard. They closed that in order to turn it into an alternative school, which houses only 40 or 50 students a year. Why would you take a grand, large facility capable of educating 500 students and turn it into an alternative school? And when I went and spoke, I actually got my answer. One of the teachers who worked there said, no, well, they have meetings. The school board has meetings. They have offices. They have conference rooms set up in that school. So while they say it's Wayne Academy, it doubles as a de facto meeting place, or a de facto extra arm of the central offices. That's what they've been using it as. So now they're going to say, well, we're going to take the students out of Wayne School of Engineering and bring them to that facility. So, because they mentioned, well, we can't house but so many, or we can't educate so many students in that building because it's too small. And what I've learned, that they have a lottery system. I didn't know anything about this. Shout out to Dr. Perkins, who told me this. She said they have a lottery system where, say if 150 students apply to the school, they actually have a lottery and they draw 100 out. So that is what they have been doing. So they are trying to decrease that lottery system so they can increase the students at Wayne School of Engineering. So once again, where does that leave the students at Goldsboro High School? They're going to go to Wayne School of Engineering. They're going to be there for, once again, and Dr. Whicard tried to make it okay while saying, well, yeah, they'll still be able to use, the athletic equipment and the athletic fields that has such a historic, such a deep-rooted culture. So they'll still have that. But for how long? How long? Do you think that this is just temporary, that they're going to open what we know, what I know, what my parents know, what my friends know as Goldsboro High School? Are they going to open that back up again, or are they going to continue to move out? They're still, and once again, I see what they call gentrification. Where are these students? Once again, we know the members of Goldsboro High School are predominantly almost all black, many of them underprivileged. So where, after Wayne School of Engineering doesn't meet its utilization rate or doesn't meet the scores, then where are they going to go? Goldsboro High School is going to be no more. It's not going to be called Goldsboro High School. It's going to be called Wayne Early Middle High School, College, or whatever they got going on over there at Wayne Community College. I see it for what it is. Now, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm cynical. But it seems right around the time that they closed the Goldsboro Middle School or the Goldsboro Junior High School, that is when the Wayne School of Engineering opened. Now, once again, I have to look, beyond what it seemed. Was that a plot? Was that a ploy? Was that a plan to do this all along? Was to get those middle school students out, send them here, and start all these other schools up around here, the early, middle, Wayne Community College, whatever they call it, the early, they have middle school students at the Wayne School of Engineering. They have all of these other schools around here, Wayne Prep, all of these other schools around here to pretty much scatter the population of these students. So I want y'all to know that is what's going to happen. You heard it here first. And the main thing about it is there was no discussion about this. There was nothing in the media. There was no discussion with parents or students or community members. Should this be done? It was 6 members on the board. And once again, I don't know Dr. Whicard personally, but I know he's not from here. If I'm not mistaken, he's from Pitt County or somewhere. So he has no idea of the historic, cultural, deep-rooted connection that we have with that Goldsboro High School. And that's why he tried to placate it by, we'll still have the athletic field. And, and once again, I would say the band room, but I think the band is no longer even a band. At least not to the effect that I know it as a child. And so they're going to justify it, by saying, okay, well, the students, at Goldsboro High School are failing and this, that, the other. Now, I called the Wayne Board of Education today because I was doing some research on Black history and I saw that our principal, God rest his soul, Pat Best, served from Goldsboro High School from 1974 to 1988, if I'm not mistaken. After that, then we had the great, beloved, decorated principal, Mr. Gerald Whitley, who served from 1988 on-ish till about 2000-ish, 2002. Y'all correct me if I'm wrong. And then after that, we've had a succession of short-term principals. Me and Dr. Perkins were talking, and she named at least 7. I think it's a lot more. I think it's probably about 9 or 10. So, from a span of 1974 to 2002-ish, that's 28 years, Goldsboro High School had 2 principals. And within the last 22 years, I'm just estimating here, Goldsboro High School has had somewhere around 10 principals. So that's an average of a principal every 2 years. How in the world do you expect anything to get done if you keep changing leadership, if you keep changing administration, if you keep changing leadership styles, if you keep bringing in people with no connection to the school or people with connections in Goldsboro but not allowing them to build a culture or standard? You had Miss Burden, you had some John Twitty, Mr. Faison, Mr. Yelverton, my man Horn, and she named a couple of more. Then we got right now Mr. Nelson, who is currently under suspension. Now, if he gets suspended or he gets terminated, that would be 3 more principals since 2019. So that's 3 principals within 5 years. Of course, the students are not going to be doing well because it shows that the administration is shaky. If I had a church or something and, we change pastors every 2 years, how strong will be your faith? If I had this happens in football and we see it as well. If I had a good team and we change coaches every 2 years, how quick are we going to win a championship? And so that's what's been happening within the past 22 years of Goldsboro High School. And it seems to me that this current school board, and I don't know, once again, was this discussed? It was on the agenda. But this current school board is okay with changing a staple in the Goldsboro community. You're moving I see them moving them out, not moving them back. Now, correct me if I'm wrong. If I'm looking at the situation in a uninformed light or ignorant light, let me know in the comments or call me direct, 919-587-7782. And many people were telling me about, some of the discretions that the past principal had, the questionable circumstances under which they left. And most of the time they left at the behest of the school board. So now we have a superintendent and Dr. Marc Whicard, who hasn't been in position a year, if I'm not mistaken, or maybe a year and a half. But he's making decisions that put one of the pillars of the Goldsboro community in jeopardy of no longer being. So I just literally had to walk out of the meeting. Like I said, after he said, starting next year, Goldsboro High School is moving to the School of Wayne Engineering, and Wayne Engineering is moving to the Wayne Academy, and Wayne Academy is moving to, some modular system at Eastern Wayne. Everything else was blah, 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 like the Charlie Brown teacher. Because I'm like, what just happened? But I have been meaning to make a video about why they closed Goldsboro Junior High and made it an alternative school, but yet still they have all these offices and conference rooms where they go and have meetings and things of that nature. Now they're saying, okay, we need a bigger school for the Wayne School of Engineering. And so they move it over here for a while. So when that gets too small, when they're able to bring more students in and they reach their capacity there, they're going to say, let's move back over to Goldsboro High School. We're going to take Goldsboro High School and we're going to take the Wayne School of Engineering, and then we're going to send, the Goldsboro High School somewhere, and we're going to call this entire complex the Wayne School of Engineering. And once again, Goldsboro High School, as we know it, shall be no more. And that's why I'm saying, like, people need to really pay attention, because once again, I talked to several people at the meeting who were just in the audience as I was, and I asked them, I said, well, this is my first time hearing of that too. Like, we walked out, I'm like, what just happened? And it's that quick that what they call, like, I would say gentrification, if it happens as I suspect it might happen. Gentrification at its finest. But we're going to see what it is. And once again, that's why I am so adamant, not even adamant, but now I'm interested in really, obtaining that District 3 seat so I can really see what's going on and maybe inform the public. Because there was no one there to oppose that moving Goldsboro High School to Wayne Engineering and turning Goldsboro High School into a food and nutrition or whatever he was talking about. Like I said, after a while it was like blah, 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 blah. So that's why, we need someone to inform the public, because I didn't know anything about this. And evidently they've been working on this behind the scenes, because every hand, black and white, well, it's only one black lady, Miss Burden, that was up there. So every hand went up in unison. Aye. It passes unanimously. Like, that was the unanimous decision of the whole community, and it wasn't. If I could have stood up and threw a chair like my man at Dead Presidents, you know what I'm saying? And like my man threw the chair to the judge and Dead President, I would have had. But, it was a couple of sheriffs out there, so, I ain't been to jail in a while, and I don't plan going in another long while. But and I'm joking, by the way, but yeah, man, it was just amazing to me, how they can do something of that of that magnitude that once again, in my opinion, puts the whole entire history of Goldsboro at risk. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. 919-587-7782. Peace and blessings.